and Burn, or with the guys from Mallorca Vegan. If you want to contact them, their website is www.MallorcaVegan.com. That's Mallorca, M-A-L-L, spelled the same way as the radio station, O-R-C-A, vegan.com.
Or the J.
Oh, the J as well, you can get them on the J. Okay, so also on Facebook, Mallorca Vegan. You can info@MallorcaVegan.com, which is email. Mobile is 717-106-875. I'm reading this from a vegan map guide that you're producing. Obviously restaurants that are basically offering vegan opportunities.
Right. In addition to restaurants, it's also shops, as well as excursions and wellness people. So really it's a guide for people around Mallorca who are already here, who want to know, hey, who say, you know, I'm stuck in my area, but I'd like to go somewhere else. Let me see what else there is.
Mm-hmm.
Or people who are traveling to Mallorca, who might get off the ship, get off the airplane, and don't know where to go.
Okay.
And they might have a friend or a family member who is a vegan or vegetarian, and this is a handy guide.
Now, talking of guides and restaurants and everything else, I read an interesting story last night. I was obviously reading up on this, a bit of research, and I came across Gordon Ramsay. A quote from Gordon Ramsay says, "If my daughter ever grew up and married a vegetarian, I'd never forgive her," was one of the things he said. He said other things as well, which might shock you. But I found out also that he in order to get training in for he was doing a triathlon in Kona, Hawaii, which is one of the world's toughest triathlons.
Right.
He weighed in at 16 stone 2 pounds, and apparently he dropped to a slim 14 stone, which is losing more than 2 stone, 28 pounds, by cutting out fatty food and replacing them with vegan shakes and plates of vegetables.
That's right.
A Gordon Ramsay of all people.
Well, interesting, yes, absolutely. And not only Gordon, but I think it shows you that people, regardless of whether or not you're a regular person or if you are a training athlete, people often think, wow, I can never actually be on a vegan diet if I'm physically active. And then again, somebody who is in the limelight, and also he is one of the people who's a world-known expert on food.
Yeah.
So he has access to everything.
Yeah, of course.
Which I think, I don't know why do you think, Richie, that he said that comment earlier about his daughter? Why do you think he made that? Because
I think that's the perception of probably, not so much vegetarians now, because that's become probably a little bit more mainstream, but veganism is probably, I would, you know, no offence to you guys, because we've only met the first time this morning, and you're not out here or anything like that, you're normal guys, you know what I mean? But that's people's perceptions. Do you know what I mean? You know, we've had some funny comments this morning, and straight away, do you know what I mean? People say, "What are you doing? You can't do it." What are you doing? Because they know us and everything else. I said to you earlier.
Right.
So I think people are surprised because it's Gordon Ramsay, and the fact that vegan is slightly more looked upon as more sort of way out than vegetarianism.
Right.
That's how I would see it.
We don't have dreadlocks, and I'm not wearing Birkenstocks.
No, you're not. We've had a great chat on and off air, which you think is great. And you're not, you know, I don't think this is not about forcing this upon people, is it? This is just about really, you know, getting the message out there, people to learn, and people to make their own decisions about this. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the outlook how I would see it.
Right. We want to be a resource for people who are vegetarian, vegan, or people who are veg curious. So this is people who, you know, I've rarely met anybody who's ever woken up any day and said, you know, I really need to eat more meat today. I mean, people know, even though people like the taste of meat, people often know they need to maybe cut out a little bit less. So this is an opportunity for people to maybe cut out a little bit of meat in different ways, and to lead a little bit more of a healthy lifestyle. One of the things I think I want to also talk about is that taste doesn't have to be sacrificed. Going back to Gordon Ramsay, as you mentioned, you know, he was able to access anything in the world, and he ate the stuff. He ate the things. I don't think begrudgingly. I think it was as a result of, yes, wanting to train, but I'll bet he put some really good stuff in there. I don't think he was like, well, lamenting what he ate every day.
Because your immediate reactions when you've got to go on a diet, you think, oh God, I've got to give up this, I've got to give up that.
Right.
And I'm not going to enjoy what I'm doing. But if you can actually enjoy what you're doing when you're on a diet and you're losing weight, because that's the big thing. Then you're actually enjoying what you do. Listen, if you'd have told me like this time last year that I'd be doing Bikram yoga, I'd have told you you're completely mad. And I can't do it at the moment because I've just done my knee in, do you know what I mean? Which is a bit of a shame. And I'm actually missing, I haven't been for 2 weeks, and I'm missing going, do you know what I mean? I do miss going, and I actually really enjoy it. And when I tell people I do it, they look at me like I'm an absolute alien. And it's the same with this, do you know what I mean? If I said to you, I'm not going to become a vegan, I know, but I would eat this. There's not a problem. I haven't got a problem with where I talked about the vegetarian tapas. I haven't got a problem with it. All right, can we get on the chocolate now?
Well, I'll tell Luciano.
Vegan chocolate?
That you need to get back in the hot room, so.
Oh, you know Luciano?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Miro. I call them like the Brangelina of Mallorca.
Yeah.
Aren't they like amazing?
Yeah. They're
So
good people.
This is a raw chocolate. This is made in the Balearics right here.
Have you tried this yet?
And
No. Yeah, I'm going to wait for you.
Well, I'll wait because you've got to film this, haven't you? So
Yeah.
you can't actually use two things. There you go.
And there's no sugar in there. There's
Really?
agave, but there's no fillers that are in most chocolates. This is all raw. It's all pure cacao.
I'll be honest. I'm not a.
He's not a sweet person.
No, well, I'm not a sweet person, but I don't like dark chocolate. I'll be honest.
Okay, well this is dark.
This is dark.
This is dark.
So, not that I say I don't like it, because I'll eat it, of course. but I'm not a dark chocolate lover.
Yeah.
But anybody that likes chocolate or dark chocolate, excuse me, is going to like that. No problem at all.
It tastes a bit nougaty.
Nougaty?
Nougaty. Is it nougaty? Nougaty.
Oh, nougat. Okay, I'm like nougaty. I'm like, where's that?
Yeah, no, I've just invented a new word. It's fine.
If I could put these in, are we chasing anything else, by the way? Just want to, is that it?
That's it.
Right, if I could put these into some sort of order of my favourite to my least favourite.
Please.
That I think is fantastic, the sobrasada.
sobrasada.
That was lovely, really, really nice. I love those as well. I would maybe put those the balls, sorry.
Yes.
The
morning balls.
The breakfast balls. There you go, breakfast balls. Then the piggy bits, which is the coconut type, bacony type stuff, and then the chocolate. Only because I'm not a dark chocolate lover.
Sure.
But they're all fine. I wouldn't go, oh no.
You don't feel like you're going.
You want to see your
I
face
don't
when you
think I'm going with that. No, I don't. But that's probably the whole point of this, isn't it?
That's right. It really is that you can quote unquote have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
That you can have great food, you can still satisfy you can get comfort food. I mean, tomorrow I have an article running in the Mallorca Daily Bulletin with potato salad. It's so rich and creamy, and it's like stick to your ribs type of good comfort food. And so it can be very diverse. We love to eat in season, and these are just things that are also here from Mallorca. We like to use things that are grown and cultivated right here without having to traipse stuff across the world.
Good. Right, we're going to come back and chat a little bit more after John Newman. We just had a little conversation off air about a Halloween party that you hosted.
Yeah, I heard that nobody dresses up here in Mallorca, and guess what? We saw tons of people dressed up.
Well, funny enough, because we do a Halloween party at Pirates, and they do dress up, and it's surprising the amount of people that do once you give them the opportunity. Yes.
Yeah, they do. So we had a Halloween party in our village in Colonia St. Jordi, and we invited all the tons and tons of folks in the village, and they knew that we ate this type of plant-based diet, and they wanted to come, they wanted to partake, but they were scared to eat our food. So they pre-ate. They admitted when they got there, they fessed up. Yeah, they said, Stephanie, I'm very sorry, but we were worried we wouldn't like any of your food, so we pre-ate. And they confessed after they tried a little bit of everything, and they admitted that they really liked it.
Interesting question here.
Please.
One of the listeners, actually, Edwin Butler says, a lot of it comes down to price, choice and flavour. I would love to replace some of the meat and fat in my diet, but the alternatives are far too expensive and packed with other chemical flavourings, he says. True or not?
What a fantastic question. And we get that all the time. I will tell you that if you look at eating locally and if you look at eating in season, typically a vegetable or plant-based diet is 30% less than a meat-eating diet. So it does take a little bit of vigilance, but overall you will save money if you go plant-based. Interesting fact, in Arizona there's a prison that has recently completed a conversion to all vegetarian food in order to save $100,000 US a year. So they've converted all meat to be all vegetable type proteins. There's soy-based proteins, plant-based proteins, and they've done that completely 100% just to save money.
And I take it, obviously, you know about places where you can buy this sort of stuff and everything.
Yes.
It's on your website.
Lots on the website, in the guide. There are lots of bio shops around. Actually, even El Corte Inglés has a lot of options. Carrefour. If you look at the deli and you ask your grocer, they typically have a lot of these foods that you get.
And the other option also, to go with what Edwin's just said there, is that sometimes you then got to look at your own health rather than the expense sometimes.
Well, that's
because what's more important, your health or how much something costs?
This is true. Maybe take a little bit out of your going out on weekend budget, or go to
Edwin, no more going out, friend.
One less movie, rent something instead of going to the movies.
Yeah, or just put another euro on your haircuts. There you go, that'll tell him. I'm only kidding. Now, I wanted to touch on something, alcohol. How does that work? Is it because are there? I'm looking at you going, what am I talking about? But
alcohol works great.
Yeah,
I don't know how it affects you, but it works great on me.
No, but from a vegan point of view, is there stuff you can drink and stuff you can't drink?
It's a fantastic question. And if you look at, for example, wines, Certain wines are produced using vegan standards, which means not utilizing any component that was from an animal. Some are not vegan. So that takes a little bit more delving in research. We have information on our website, MallorcaVegan.com, that you can find out from varietal and particular grocer or particular winemaker, but also beers and then distilleries. So it does take, some are not, some are. But for the most part, with a little bit of research, you can find some.
Okay. We're going to finish up.